Sunday afternoon, everyone. I'm Jonathan McCall alongside 12 News political journalists and Sunday Square Off moderator Brahm Resnik with this very historical day in U.S. history. The president going on to say that with his stepping down, he does plan to endorse his Vice President Kamala Harris as the Democratic lead for the presidency. How important and how big was it for him to say who he wanted as his successor?
That was huge and almost predictable, number one, because of the money. The president can now transfer campaign dollars directly to Kamala Harris as part of the Biden-Harris campaign. That's something he could not have done with any other candidate. So that's huge in any presidential race, a race that could cost up to $1 billion. Also, he needed to do that because he was under pressure to do that. Kamala Harris has a lot of supporters in the African-American community in particular, among women in particular. She's been a tremendous advocate for abortion rights on the stump for the president. So it's a big deal. The next 28 to 48 hours or so are going to matter. We're going to see who behind the scenes over the last few weeks, which governors, largely governors maybe, have been planning a run of their own and being ready for this moment. Because it was almost inevitable, the series of leaks for members of Congress, high-ranking Democrats expressing their concern about President Biden's ability to serve would just have been really just a death blow, something he could not possibly answer in the course of a campaign over the next 3.5 months against Donald Trump. We saw today Donald Trump came out with a very sharply worded statement declaring Joe Biden the worst president ever. Trump campaign now pivoting to deal with the prospect of Kamala Harris as the nominee. But again, in the next 24 to 48 hours, we will find out whether there are any other Democrats willing to challenge her or whether any delegates or office holders will try to inspire challenges on their own, a contest, as you were, for the nomination at the convention in late August.
And speaking of that money that you were talking about, that war chest, already we have seen from the Federal Election Commission, the Biden for President campaign has now switched over to the Harris for President campaign. So right now they are already moving full speed ahead with getting this done. So a lot of changes, as we mentioned, going to come in the next 24 to 48 hours. We've already seen a number of big names come out and throw their support behind the vice president. But there are also some other names we have not heard from yet who have not signed off on their endorsements quite yet.
Right. Governor Katie Hobbs came out with a statement supporting President Biden's announcement, but not endorsing Kamala Harris just yet. Congressman, there's Katie Hobbs' statement. President Biden is the embodiment of a public servant. Throughout his career, he has led with integrity, selflessness, and unparalleled empathy. His decision today is a clear reflection of these qualities and his commitment to putting the American people first. I look forward to continuing Arizona's partnership with the Biden administration for the final months of his term, and I know his dedication to moving our state forward remains steadfast. Very nice statement, but no endorsement for Kamala Harris. Congressman Ruben Gallego also with a nice statement, but no endorsement. Congressman Greg Stanton also with a nice statement, but no endorsement yet. Both face competitive races in the fall against Republicans. They have to keep their eye on that as they decide how they're going to play this historic, really last-minute upheaval in the presidential ticket.
So how do they, I guess, we've talked about the Democratic Party has a very short window that they have to literally get their ducks in a row as they try to take on Donald Trump as they mount this challenge in November. If you have kind of some deflections, you have some folks maybe who are hesitant on the fence, how do you really unify the party? How do you rally them in order to have that unified message?
It's kind of like herding cats, isn't it? You have all these politicians motivated by self-interest. That's just the way it is. We've just spoken about Ruben Gallego. He has a tough Senate race to run. He's most concerned about how this affects him in his Senate race. There are many politicians, elected officials all over the country, making those same calculations right now. Some in safe races don't have to worry about it, safe Democratic races, but many others do. So that's going to play out over the next several days or weeks. As for whether there's going to be a contest or not, that's an open question. Some have said it'll make for great reality TV. It'll keep the country, voters, focused on the Democratic Party all the way through the end of August and into Labor Day, which is roughly when the Democratic Convention ends. But I have to believe there are also some risks in that.
Yeah.
It could show a fractured party coming off a Republican convention just last week where you saw a very unified Republican Party around the presidential nominee, Donald Trump.